In 2001, I woke up on a hospital bed in a strange body. I looked around myself and I saw all the doctors and the nurses running around. I was very upset and angry. This was not my body. I was in someone else's being, and that was causing me a lot of pain. Fortunately, I had all the memories that were there in that body, and I was able to function like a normal human being. But I knew very well that I am not that person who was the original owner of the body. I had to find out more. The question that was raised by me was, who am I? I was having no idea who I was. The other question that came about came by a very strange coincidence. I was living in this house like a very normal human being, but I was angry with everything. I had no idea why I was angry. One day, I saw in one neighboring shop a pile of books which had come for giving away. You know, the kind of raddiwalas that are there. In that, I found some 5-6 books which were very old. I picked up one of the books. It was called Bhagavad Gita. I started flipping that book, and the moment I flipped it, I realized that as if I know this book. I was very flabbergasted. I was wondering, how is it that I know this book? Then I went through the rest of the 5 books that were there. They were also spiritual texts. And every book that I opened, it appeared to me that I seemed to know everything that was there in it. It was in English, and I knew everything that was there. This was a very strange phenomenon. In my previous avatar, the body that I took, I had never ever read any spiritual book in my life. Never have I gone to any temple with devotion. I did not believe in God that much. I was mostly an agnostic or an atheistic person. Frankly speaking, I had no idea who God was. I had seen some serial called Ramayana, and later on I had seen a serial called Mahabharata. But that was only for the purpose of entertainment. I was not at all interested in anything remote related to it, like a spiritual or religion. My upbringing was not of that kind. The previous person's body, he had an association with the gurus. That is, the family believed in Sai Baba of Shirdi. His ancients, that is, the great-grandmothers and the great-grandfathers, were very great devotees of Sai Baba. There is a mention about them in the Sai Satcharit also. So naturally there was no leaning towards any god, and there were no pictures of God in my grandmother's place. There was only Sai Baba and there was Dattatreya. So these were the only 2 pictures, and we used to pray to them. But I had no concept about God or anything like that. So when I was reading this book, I was wondering, how is it that I know all these books? My curiosity was raised. I wanted to know whether I will be able to understand many other books. So I started going to all the different libraries and bookshops, even the raddiwalas, so that I can get some books. And there I found a lot of these kind of old scriptures. The moment I started opening them, I realized that I knew them. When I say I knew them, it meant that I knew the deeper meaning of what was written over there. Though as a previous entity, I had no idea what these books meant. So it was again something very surprising. Then I knew that I am not the person who was in this body. The person who was there in this body was a different person altogether. So the questions that were raised by me was, who is teaching me all these things? I had to find that out, because in the normal course of life, I did not know these books. I had no idea about God. And the second question was, who is this person that is represented in this body? So who am I? Now, meanwhile, when I divulged these things to people around, they started asking me the same question, who are you? So a very simple answer came to me, I am nobody. I just expanded on the answer. And I said that nobody translates into only God knows. Only God knows. Now, how do you explain to people who are Hindus and other faith? So I just added a word ahead of them. Only Krishna knows. And when I said this word, only Krishna knows, from that day onwards, I called myself Krsnaknows. This is how my name came into the picture. So my journey started. I wanted to find out who is teaching me all these things and who am I? And these questions were racking my brains a lot. I started visiting all the gurus in the land. I met a Guruma. This was in 2004, and I told her that I would like to sit at her feet and learn the scriptures or learn the spiritual aspects of life. She started laughing. She said, get up from there and come and sit next to me over here. You don't have to sit at my feet. On the contrary, I should be sitting at your feet. This was a very strange answer. And I said, here is a very great person. And she is talking like this. So my curiosity was quite a lot. I needed to know. So I went ahead and I wanted to find out. I visited many ashrams. I visited a lot of gurus on the way, wanting to know who I was, who I am. While I was doing this, a day came in my life when I was not at all interested in doing anything. I found life was worthless. And that day I decided that if somebody doesn't tell me today the answer of who is teaching me all these things and who I am, I don't want to live in this world. That evening, a person came and sat in front of me and he directed me to a temple. I didn't know who this person was because nobody saw him except myself. My security guard, the people in my showroom, I used to run showrooms. So they were not aware that there was a person sitting in front of me, but I could see him. So he took me to a temple and I came to know the answer, where I met my Gurudev and he said, I am the one who is teaching you. Now this person is called Dattatreya. So Dattatreya was my teacher. I was very surprised and I was very happy because I have been praying to Dattatreya right from the beginning. You remember? My grandmother used to pray. It's exactly like that. So for me it was a joyous occasion. Then the next question came up, who am I? I did not get an answer for full 1 year. Somewhere late in 2005, my Gurudev gave me the answer. Again, it was a very strange answer. I was carrying a book with me. And he told me, that is the book I am teaching you. I have taught this book earlier to you. I said, really? I have to find out who is this person he was teaching the book to. And that is where my journey started. But then I was totally dejected with life. I was not at all interested in being in this world of spiritual or any other place. I just wanted to go away somewhere. Like everybody says, no, I want to go to the Himalayas. I also decided that one day I will leave everything and go to the Himalayas. So in 2006, I decided that I want to leave everything and go away. 2007, I actually left. And I thought that I will go away somewhere to the Himalayas. I could take sannyas, and that's it. So I told my family, I am going away, period. I could hardly proceed beyond Haridwar. I met my Gurudev at the banks of the river Ganga over there. And for nearly 4.5 days, I had to spend my life arguing with my Guruji. Dattatreya argued with me, I argued with him. I said, I am not interested in this life. I would rather jump in this Ganga and finish my life. He said, no, you have a bigger calling. You have to go back and you are supposed to go and teach some people. I was very upset because whom am I supposed to teach? People who are not even interested in spirituality? Someone who doesn't even care about God? But no, finally I succumbed to my Gurudev, and in 2007 I came back to Bangalore. From that day onwards, I started teaching. I was not interested in gathering disciples, but people started coming to me one by one. Later on, in 2008, I tried many times again going away, but I was unsuccessful. I couldn't go. I had a duty to perform. Somewhere in 2011, I realized that this is my job. This is my swadharma. My job is to teach. My job is to tell the world what exactly is spiritual all about. So I decided, yes, this is my job and I will do it. I started training on the internet. My satsangs used to be there on the internet for anybody to attend. We started posting in YouTube and various other platforms. And that is the reason why you will find that there are so many satsangs of different scriptures wherever possible. Right from Bhagavad Gita to Srimad Bhagavatam to Das Bodh to Narad Bhakti Sutra, you name it, there are so many books that I have covered. But you have to remember one thing, I do only in English. I can only speak English. The mother tongue of this body is Marathi. I know Hindi and I know English. So the best option for me was to do satsangs in English. And that is what I started doing. I have brought you up to date in the story about who I am. Now I will tell you what is it that I am doing. In India, in the ancient times, there were Gurukul system of training. Disciples would be with the Guru for anywhere between 12 to 14 years or more than that. They would stay with the Guru in their Gurukul and take training on different subject matters. You will be amazed to know that these Gurus taught these disciples a lot of things. And that is the reason why Vasishtha Muni taught Sri Ram. Sandipani taught Sri Krishna. Chanakya taught Ashoka and Chandragupta Maurya. You may wonder that were these Gurus adept at even finance and other related activities? What do you think Arthashastra is all about? What do you think all the scriptures are all about? They are the different learnings that are there. You will find that the Guru was really very good in different subject matters. Whether it is ruling a kingdom, fighting a war, talking about finance, raising funds, how to live with a family, how to have a balance of emotional and other angles, how to overcome the mind, you name it, all the subjects, right from cooking to sewing to everything they knew. And that is what they imparted to their disciples. So I started training my disciples way back in time on these different subjects. Somewhere in 2022, I decided that now I think I need to give this to the world. So I started a program which is called Way of Life program. Way of Life program is all about teaching all these things which were taught in the Gurukul. Today I can't have a Gurukul. So what I am doing is I am to teaching them all through this internet. And that is the reason why you will find me giving so many satsangs, giving so many teachings on the internet. I have video channels, you can go and watch them. I have audio channels which are basically podcasts, you can go and listen to them. So in all this, I am giving a training on the way of life as taught by the ancients. But you may say that, is it related to the modern concepts also? Naturally, everything is substantiated by science and the current level of teachings. I even give lessons on ChatGPT and various other subjects. You may be wondering whether I should be doing that or no. Naturally, a guru has to be an adept at everything. He should be a master of most of the subjects. So naturally, I teach all these things. Now, this is the content I am making for myself on the internet. Do you think somebody has written the script for me? There is no script over here. I am talking to the camera directly. So I also teach content marketing. Do you really think I cannot write a content? Content is something that I have been writing. So you will be wondering, in the current yuga, where we are talking of creator economy, can a guru teach creator economy? Of course. So in this training, the way of life, it's a full-fledged training sessions where I definitely talk about all these subjects. Now when I said creator economy, do you think creator economy was not prevalent in ancient times? Who is Vyasdev? Who wrote all these big scriptures? Well, that is how our ancient scriptures came into the picture. Somebody has written Arthashastra, right? Somebody has written some other great scripture. So there were writers, there were authors. And my great grandmother has also written a very beautiful poetry book for Sai Baba of Shirdi. Her name was Savitribai Raghunath Tendulkar, if you want to know that much. So, well, now I think you have understood most of it. So now do you get the reason why I am qualified enough to teach you all these things? I have taken training from the best of the gurus in this world. Not in this life. This life, I don't know much. But in the previous lives, I must have definitely taken a training. Because when I did the Kaya Pravesh into this body, naturally all the knowledge came along with me. And that is what I am imparting to you. So I hope I have made my story clear to you so that you can understand who I am. And I am qualified enough to give you the training that is necessary. So I will stop my video over here. And I will thank you for watching till here. Please like and share this video and subscribe to this channel. Isn't that how it is ending? Thank you very much once again.